Okay, this is take 1 of The King's Affection, episode 9 and 10. Note, in this video, I'll be referring to Dami as, Dami, Lee, and Yeon. I forgot to clarify in the last video, but all of these names belong to the same character. These episodes, mostly episode 10, have honestly been my favorite so far. And I have a feeling that I'll keep saying that until the last episode. It just keeps getting better and better. The King's Affection is kind of giving me the same experience I had when I watched Scarlet Heart Rio 2 years ago. And I really thought there would not be another historical K-drama that would be able to top Scarlet Heart, but The King's Affection is actually getting really close to that level for me. I also found out that The King's Affection is also based off a manhwa that I really want to read, but for now I think I'm just gonna stick with the K-drama because I don't want the plot to be spoiled, one, and I want to be able to differentiate the two in my head without comparing. Let's talk about episode 9. Okay, I have to say I skipped a lot of the political drama that was happening on this episode because I just didn't care. I just wanted to see Dami and JungJi be happy together. The ending of episode 9, the confession was so heartbreaking on the little area by the pond. Here we finally hear the title of the drama, Yeon. So I was a bit taken aback because, in all the K-dramas when they say, I love you, they say like, 사랑해 or 사랑입니다, I think. But JungJi says, Yeonmo입니다, I think. It seems like Yeonmo has a deeper meaning than 사랑해 because it's not only love, but longing, that throbbing feeling when you are away from someone you love deeply. Every line from Yeon during the confession scene really had a double meaning because Yeon is Dami. It's an interesting dynamic that they have since JungJi interprets everything Yeon is saying as being a guy. Like when Dami says, it's impossible for us to be together, Dami is referring to the fact that she has to keep her identity hidden and it's painful for her to hide her true self while with him. But on the other hand, JungJi is interpreting this as we can't be together because we're both guys and you're a commoner and I'm a prince. Let's talk about episode 10. Hyun does not stand a chance at all. I am not getting second male lead syndrome really with this guy. He's just in the back burner. I don't know how big of a role he'll have to play in the future. Although I do think Gaon and Hyun's story will intersect somehow. I think he'll come clean that he knows Dami is a girl, maybe in the next 2 episodes, because then she'd understand all of the advances he's given her. Also, Hyun, he doesn't take initiative in courting Dami as much as JungJi is doing. And he seems distant in the whole drama despite being in love with her. I thought in this episode that JungJi might try to participate in the princess picking competition, but it didn't happen, which I was a little bit disappointed because I thought it would be a really funny scene to have. Now let's talk about the date. It was a date. It was totally a date, even if they didn't say it was. Yeon just wanted to spend time with JungJi and it was so adorable. I actually really enjoyed just seeing the two be together and play around town. The scene really solidified the longing they had for each other, and I was surprised that I didn't have the urge to skip the whole thing. Because when I see those scenes in dramas that take place in our time, I tend to skip those parts a lot. But this time I did not. This is probably the last peaceful episode that we'll have because shit is going down from this point on. Episode 3 to now have been too peaceful. Of course, there was that one showdown in the woods, but things are definitely getting worse from here. I definitely predicted while I was watching that Shin So-eun would be chosen to be the new princess. I didn't think her friend would become the princess because of her answer. And it was really obvious that the queen just really likes Seon. And I thought it was interesting that the king was kind of bribing his friend, Seon's father, to make her the princess. And I kind of want to see more of that side of the story. Maybe I missed some stuff because I skipped some of the political parts during episode 9. But I don't think we see Seon's dad in any other part of the drama. Another part I really liked about episode 10 was the king and Lee Hui's relationship was so wholesome. And that really surprised me. Lee Hui finally got some closure in a way as to why her father killed her as an infant. He was too young to know any better, and he couldn't really defend Dami and her brother and even his wife at the time. Like, this is a communicative relationship I don't see very often in historical K-dramas. Usually the king is the antagonist, but in this case the king is caring and bothers to communicate his feelings to his son. And this kind of solidifies that there's no single villain in the story that's really pushing the narrative forward. It's all about the relationships between the characters. I would say if there was a villain in this show, it'd be the uncle, but I think he's gonna die in the next episode from what we saw from the previews. But the thing is, I don't really understand why Lee Hui thinks she needs to get married if her father doesn't really want her to. I suppose it's because Lee Hui wants to spare her father from infighting with the Queen Dowager, but honestly, if Lee Hui wants to be with JungJi longer, I don't think anyone would stop her, per se, from postponing the wedding. Not because she wants to be with JungJi, but because there's no pressure to get married, except for the Queen Dowager and the grandfather. But I'm pretty sure the king has more power than them. I'm not sure. I don't know quite how the Korean monarchy system works. I know that the Queen Dowager has some power, more than the grandfather from the maternal side, but I'm pretty sure the king has the ultimate say. At the end, when they had their last lesson, hit me like a rock. JungJi and Yeon looked like they were trying to elongate the time they had together by reading really slowly, because by the end of that scene they were pausing longer and longer. When JungJi told Yeon he would be leaving the palace life, that was really sad. But I would assume that Yeon, being the prince, she'd be able to visit him from time to time. Even though it's sad in the moment, that could be a solution for them, but this is a K-drama, so that's not gonna happen, right? I also don't know how the whole heir thing would work. Like Shin would find out Yeon's real identity eventually, wouldn't she? Unless they had like a concubine or something, which might be JungJi. But I'm just throwing stuff out there. I don't think they'll actually get married. Okay, so based off the previews, the first thing we definitely see is that the king finds out Dami is a girl. Literally, everyone in the palace is in denial. Like, who would think that Yeon is actually a dude? Whatever, it's fun. It's a K-drama. I know. I have a feeling the whole palace will find out that she's a girl, and someone is going to try to assassinate her. Most likely the Queen Dowager, honestly. I feel like she's a very traditional character, as in following traditions to a T. So a princess being in power, I don't know about that. Yeon also has a little brother, so honestly the crown prince position could be transferred to him. And I find it a little bit odd we haven't seen anything about him for a while. Like, I kind of forgot that Yeon had a stepbrother and a stepmother. because they haven't appeared at all since their first appearance in episode 4, I think. Or maybe it was episode 3, I don't know. We also see JungJi kissing Dami! I think in episode 11, we'll see JungJi in the village, but receive some kind of letter that Dami's in trouble and return to the palace. I'm not sure he'll find out that Dami is, well, Dami, but it's definitely coming soon. I think maybe episode 13 he might find out that Dami is a girl. I don't think JungJi will care that much that Yeon is Dami, because he's just in love with Yeon as a person. I think he'll just be happy that she can be honest with him. Yeah, so thanks for watching this video and listening to my thoughts and predictions. If you watch this till the end, tell me what your predictions are and what your favorite parts of these 2 episodes were. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next week with more thoughts on episodes 11 and 12. Bye!